Welcome back to this mini-series about Anki. Anki is an open source free tool that people use to memorize things using the flashcards. And in this video, we're gonna look at how to create cards and what are the main concepts. The card type, the fields, and the template, yeah? And in the first video, which I'm gonna link right here, we've covered the very basics, how to create the account and how to set up mobile app and desktop app. And in this video, we're gonna look at how to create cards and what are the main concepts of Anki and how memory works, essentially, because that's all about it, right? Hello, I'm Zhenya. I'm a project manager, information designer, and productivity nerd, and I'm fundamentally intrigued by the things that do not work. And I'm creating this mini-series of videos alongside my journey of learning Spanish, for which for vocabulary I'm using Anki to memorize things. So I'm recording the system that I've created alongside it, yeah, so that saves you some time and effort. Let's look at, without further ado, at the main things about Anki, what happens after you install the app, yeah? So we left off last time in this step where we downloaded the desktop app and have created the account. So basically it's empty now. You can see that the main screen is the deck and there is nothing. There's like one deck here, which has 0 in it. So in order to add cards to the deck, you go to add, you type in the word. In my case, it's Spanish. So, and this on the front of the card is going to be the Spanish word for the cat, and on the back is going to be translation of the word, yeah? And click on the add. And that's pretty much it, yeah. That's the whole complexity or whatever it is of Anki. It's basically we all got it covered now, yeah. So you see your default deck. You have one card into it. You click on the deck, and you say, okay, I'm gonna study now. You can study using desktop app, but you can also study on the mobile. It's basically the same interface. Shows you that you can click on your deck and you study now. On the mobile, it's easier because you can always carry it in your pocket. You can do it on the desktop as well if you have like really sophisticated design for the cards, because obviously like here it just shows you the answer, and again then I think very hard and I can't remember what this word means. I click on show the answer. It shows me the back of the card, and then it gives me 4 options, again hard, good, and easy. If I click on again, it means I don't know the word at all. Hard means I had to think about it really hard before I remember it. Good means I don't have trouble remembering it, and easy means go away, I don't want to see you anymore. But it's allows Anki to rate the card, and since you're gonna have a lot of cards, each card is gonna have its own history of your answers, yeah? And then, for example, if you click again because you don't remember the word, it shows you again. If you remember it now and it's good, or it's easy, yeah? If you click on easy, it's going to be 4 days from now, yes? You click on easy, the deck is empty again, because this card is going to travel in the future and it's going to appear again in 4 days. And this is, just a word about how memory works here, yeah? If you like this kind of content, click on like and subscribe, and I need the video editor to the proper call to action here, but essentially all the links down below. I'm gonna link everything I'm talking about here. All right, so spaced repetition, and yes, the thing is that the point of this video is not to explain you what the spaced repetition is. It's just basically I want to make sure that you set up your deck and you don't waste a lot of time while getting around Anki, yeah. And I'm gonna link down below a really good explanation videos about spaced repetition, and just in a nutshell what it is, and also this really nice book for language learners which also explains that really well. And essentially spaced repetition works in a way that it forces you to, what does it say here, spend more time reviewing what you forget. That's kind of the main principle, yeah. So if you cannot remember something, it offers you the card more often. And the better you know it, you click on good or you click on easy, and the card goes away into the future. And then it kind of comes back to you when you already don't remember it really well. And that's how memorization is at the most effective. Yeah, so you memorize, your brain is forced to memorize things which are hard to remember. Like the harder you have to think to remember the thing, the better you will remember it in the long run. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of it. I'm gonna put the links down below. Let's get on with get cracking and talk about the definitions, because that's one thing that we'll need to know before we continue to importing massive amounts, like the loads of cards. Yeah. So essentially, because you don't want to click on add every time you want to add a card. Here it's crazy. Like you need to have like a spreadsheet, and then from the spreadsheet you import to Anki. Like if you have like 100 new words that you collected in the street, and then you just repeat them basically instead of like writing them down. And that's kind of the main idea here in this method. So what do we want to do? Yeah, so essentially there's a card. If you remember, you can click on browse and you can see your cards. Yeah, for now it's one card you just created, and then the key constituents of the card are the card type, the fields, and the template. Yeah, so if you go into fields, you can see that this is the basic template. Does it actually say anywhere that is basic? It says fields for basic. Basic is now as a template. Yeah, so this template has two fields, front and back, and this is all the settings for it. Yeah, you can add more fields, you can rename the fields, you can reposition them, etc. And then you have cards editor, which essentially gives you the backbone of what the card is. On the left hand side of this interface, it's a bit confusing. It kind of takes a bit of time to wrap your head around it, but essentially what it has here is on the left you have you can define which fields you want to include or other formatting, and on the right it shows you the preview of it, and you can see preview front and preview back. And this is the template. This is the backend for front, and this is the back end for the back. Yeah. So on the front, you have the square brackets and the word inside of those brackets. This is essentially a tag, like HTML tag. Yeah. If you're familiar with HTML and CSS, it might be a bit easier for you to understand, but it's not really difficult anyway. So you have the tag, and the tag references the name of the field. If you remember, this is front. And if you go to fields, you can see that this is front. This is basically what it references. Yeah, this references this field, and on the back it references both front and back. So it shows you both gato and cat for the Spanish and English translation. And there's also an HTML tag for horizontal line as well. You can go very sophisticated with formatting. There's also styling tab. You can insert whatever style you want. You can create like a whole web design there because it supports all the CSS tags basically. But the one important thing is that you don't want to do that. Yeah, because you want to just focus on, it needs to be as simple as possible, so you just see the word and you remember it. One good thing is that you can also add pictures and sounds to it as well, which I'm not going to cover, but it's quite important. I think I'm going to do a video about it later on, because it's also makes it, apparently it's easier to remember if you see a picture of a cat, for example, and you see the word. And you can go, yeah, that's the beauty of Anki. You can go really sophisticated, but actually you don't need to. Yeah, you don't have to. So that's the main concepts. Yeah. So fields, cards, and the basic way of creating the cards. And we've talked about the spaced repetition. Yeah. Cloze deletion. Okay, yeah, and I need to mention cloze deletions and context learning. Yeah. Essentially what it is. Let's go back to browse. This is a really nice way of actually maybe add. There's one nice way that I like to use, which is called cloze. Yeah, and cloze deletion essentially means that you can bracket the word. You can have a sentence and bracket one word, and when you see the front of the card, it hides that word from you. And it's I'm going to show you. For example, you have a sentence here. El gato duerme en sofá to the /start this here, and then you put the English translation on the back, and you can put that in this special tag, yeah, which Anki reads as a close deletion. So type close, deck default, and add the card. So what we're gonna see now, we have our card there, and we go into the review. We can see the sentence, and we can see that Anki has hidden the word from us. And apparently this is a better way of learning rather than just bank on, just see the word and try to remember what it means. It's easier for your brain connections if you see the word in the context, yeah? So you have a sentence and then you can guess the word. What I like to do, and I'm gonna show you it, and this also actually a video I showed a bit previously about my Anki Spanish learning method, where I actually show you the data capture, and there you will see my deck. And essentially what I like to do is I like to put the Spanish translation with the Spanish version with the missed word, and then the English sentence underneath, then I know which word I need to remember. When you click on show the answer, it shows you this and the translation, and you can see the word is there, yeah? And this is because you can go to browse. Actually, you don't even need to go to browse. You can just click on edit and you can see the card, yeah? And this is because, no, actually, probably you need to go to browse. Let me see. Yeah, and that's because here you have the tag for close text, yeah? And the back template has the close text and line break and then back extra, which are, I'm guessing, the fields for the card. Yes, text and back extra, these are the two fields. So it references just two fields. That's why on the back you see full text and the back extra text. Try to play around with this a little bit before going to the next video, so that you kind of understand. I remember when I first looked at this, it kind of made little sense, but then I kind of wrap my head around it a little bit. You don't have to be like sophisticated about it. Just try to understand how fields work, because in the next step we're going to be figuring out how to create Excel table, like a Google Sheets table, to be able to import a lot of cards at once into Anki. That's kind of to field by field, yeah? So you associate the field with one another, and then it kind of all comes to Anki. And you can see this empty field here, of this gonna be full with all the cards at once, so you don't have to go like one by one. And I think that's all for now. Yeah, I think that's all for now, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe, and everything is in the description. See you later.